So I'm going to give a little demonstration on an exercise I'd like to share with you to help us better create volume in our images that we're drawing. The first step is to draw a rectangle or a square roughly proportional to the dimensions of the image that you're drawing. So the image that I'm drawing is this teacup, which is in a square. So I'm going to draw a square. It can be approximate. It doesn't have to be perfect. But what this does is it allows us to concentrate on addressing all of the space within the square. Once we've drawn this square, we know that we have to address every single space within this square, not just the object that we're drawing, but everything around it, because everything that we see around it, the light and the dark, the space, will affect the volume of the object that we're drawing. The second step is to designate where the lightest part of your drawing is. The lightest part of the image to me is the left 2/3 of the teacup. Now, when you're trying to figure out where it is, part of the beauty of drawing a square or a rectangle of your image is that you can use the edges to measure where things are. So if I'm looking at the teacup, I see that the top left corner of the teacup, which is one of the lightest parts of the image, is roughly 3/5 of the way up this left edge, and roughly 1/4 of the way on this bottom edge. So 1/4 from the left edge, about here. So, kind of like playing coordinates, you could say that top left corner of the teacup is about here. From here, if you want, you can mark out the shape deliberately, draw lines if you want. I'm drawing a faint one here. I typically don't like to do that because it's just not my style, but there's nothing wrong with marking out very distinctly where the lightest parts of your image are going to be. There's another light part here that extends to about 3/4 of the way from the left. And that's that back edge, the far edge of the teacup that's visible. So we can draw just one light contour here and bring it around. Okay, so I know that that this area where the teacup, the far inside edge of the teacup, and this front edge of the teacup, this front body of the teacup, are the two lightest parts of my drawing. Once I've designated the areas of my drawing that are going to be the lightest, I know that I can literally put strokes everywhere else in the drawing. We know we're going to protect them. We're going to leave those lightest areas as untouched paper. The name of the game from here is just gradually building up to your darks. You can just start going into the background. You don't even have to pay too hard attention, but just lightly start making marks. It doesn't really matter what kind of stroke you use. I've developed this sort of funny touch of cross hatching. You don't have to do it that way. If you're more comfortable just scribbling, that's totally fine too. But really from here, understand that you can always add more strokes to make something darker. So you don't have to get it the right value of darkness the first time. Just slowly build up your image, and when you find that you need to make something darker, you can go back and add strokes. So I'm going to do a little bit of that here. All right, I'm going to leave the drawing like this for now, but you can start seeing where the cup is emerging. And remember, I haven't really drawn any contours. All of this is done by just paying attention to light and dark. Okay? And this is where we can get the drawing will form itself if we pay attention to the relationships of light and dark. Just to review the 3 steps in this exercise. First, draw the dimensions of the image that you're drawing from. If you're not drawing from the image in the future, then just draw a square or draw a rectangle anyways. And that'll help you understand that you need to address every single space in that rectangle. The second step is to find and designate where the lightest parts of your drawing will be. The lightest parts of your drawing are going to be untouched paper. You're not going to put any strokes there. The strategy then is to just work from light to dark. You can put strokes everywhere else where these lightest parts are not. And then slowly keep adding strokes to build up to the darks until they're as dark as you see that you need them to be. I hope this was helpful, and let's try it ourselves. Ciao.